How to flip a house without using your own money. This is my favorite topic. Let's get into it. In today's episode, we're going to go through and show you what type of lenders to look for, what kind of partners you'll want to partner with, and lastly, how I keep 50% of these deals without using any of my own money. I've always said, if you find the property, you'll find the money. If you find the deal, you'll find the money. That's exactly what falls in line here, is if you went and you found the right deal, you should be able to find the money. Let's get into it. So when funding your real estate deal, there's so many different ways to mix and match. So we'll get into some of them, but we can't even touch on all of them here, but we'll give you an example and you can start to mix and match different lenders to whatever fits your lending needs. So typically what I do is I'll find a private investor or even hard money lender to come in and lend on either 80 to 90% of the purchase price, and typically as much as 100% of the rehab costs. That leaves a difference of 10 to 20% that I need to bridge that gap to fund the deal. What I'll do is I'll bring in someone to give them a piece of equity from the deal if they come in with the 10 or 20%. You're probably listening like, why is it 10? Why is it 20? What I found is the more experience you have, the less money that you have to bring in. I've also found that the more experience you have, the more people want to actually partner with you. So the more that you do these, your first deal is going to be your toughest deal. But as you get going, they become easier and easier. You may use a traditional lender, although that's not the most common. It is an avenue for you. Using private money is a great way for people to get going because private money could be from such a variety. It could be from someone that you know. There's so many people right now trying to deploy money out into these real estate assets. So as far as lending in general, how do lenders make money? Oh, that's right, by lending. So they actually have to lend money to make money. So people are looking for reasons why to invest. So as long as you're not giving them reasons why not to, they're going to want to invest in you. If you're a real estate investor, maybe you're using hard money and you're looking for a less expensive way to go. Look at private money. I've found that you can negotiate with them more than some of the hard money lenders. And one way that I do that is I'll take them to a project that I've done, or I'll keep a binder and show them all the flips that I've done, or I'll send them to them in a zip file so they can look at all the projects before and afters that I've done, and maybe even give them some examples of what I've made in profit. The more comfortable I could get a lender with me and that particular deal, the more likely they are to invest. So you're probably sitting there going, yeah, but this is my first time doing it. Okay, great. If this is your first time, it's even more important that you understand and know your numbers. The more confident that you are in delivering what your purchase price is, your ARV, your rehab costs, your timelines, basically the underwriting of this deal, the better that you could articulate it, the more confident that you are, the more lenders that you'll attract to want to fund your deal. Remember, this is key. If you don't know your numbers, you need to learn them. If you're struggling finding private, hard money, or a lender in general, I use scotsmanguide.com. You could find any type of lender in there. They have a matrix. Use their drop-down menu. You're going to be able to get in there, find the lender that you're looking for or a lender, and at least start to network with some of them. If you're having issues, finding them. You have seller financing, which is a huge piece that I take advantage of, especially in commercial financing. It's called subject to as well. Like in residential, you would be able to get subject to or seller financing where you're assuming notes. Crowdfunding is another one. I've never used it, but I have had people buy buildings from me using crowdfunding. That's another option. A lease option as well. This is another one where you're basically rent to own. You have the lease on the property with the option. A lot of times you could refinance those once those are seasoned. And then the last is syndication. It's a big word. A lot of people are using it. I've been syndicating for years now. It's a phenomenal way for me to bring a group of people together to invest in one of my projects. I've been talking about a lot of different things today, throwing stuff at you, and I realize it may be a little much. And if you click on the subscribe button below, we're going to get into all of these topics in more detail. I cannot reiterate this enough. If you find the right deal, it's easier for you to find the lender. Now, a lot of people, when they're new, they want to call and talk to all the lenders to run by hypotheticals. They don't want to do that. Trust me. I mean, all of it's hypothetical. Every deal stands on its own merits, and you need to understand how to underwrite those deals. Again, if you have, the more equity you have, the better you can articulate it and so on, better likelihood you're going to find that money to fund that deal. Here's the nice thing. For example, you found the right deal, you have it locked up, but you're unable to get funding for it. For whatever reason, it happens sometimes. Let's just say this happens in this scenario we're talking about. If the deal is that good, you could still wholesale that deal and still make money. So don't become discouraged. Again, when you partner with someone on a deal, it's critical that you get the roles and responsibilities from everybody mapped out to begin with. What you don't want to do is partner with someone that's looking at building a modern house and you have a Spanish house in mind. So you got to make sure that roles and responsibilities and the look and all that, who's responsible for what, is determined up front. Because quite frankly, you don't want to get in the wrong partnership on a real estate deal. It could get ugly and expensive. So map this stuff out ahead of time. It's going to save you time, energy, and headaches later. Some of the things that I look for in partners, and some of the things that I think you should look for in a partnership, what's that person bring to the table besides just money? If they have resources as far as tradespeople, they've been in the industry a while, if you're newer and they could give you some guidance, all these things matter. And in doing so, it's like, what's that equity look like? If they're just a lender, I don't want to give them necessarily 50%. It doesn't mean I won't, but I don't necessarily want to. Keep in mind, you're doing the heavy lifting here, is what I call it. And there's something to be said about that. Partners that are willing to come in and just fund the project are the ones that I like best, because I get to do what I know best, and that's to fix and flip the property. The less people that are interactive, having different ideas, the better for me. It varies from person to person. If you're new, I would encourage people to be coming in and getting advice prior to construction though, and prior to even taking down the deal. Get everything mapped out ahead of time. So there's different ways to do this. The key thing for me is I'm partnering with someone that I get along with, because if I don't get along with them from the beginning, I'm probably not going to get along with them during the process or at the end. And sometimes I just say no to partnerships, as you should too. So I want to share with you how I keep 50% of what I do. There's a lot of people out there that will even find deals and they'll bring them to me and they'll fund them if I actually oversee and run the project. Or I'll go find the deal. And typically this happens a lot on commercial real estate. It happens on residential a lot as well. In fact, the last several projects have been this way. If I go find the property, someone else will put up all the money to buy the property, to rehab the property, even if there's holding costs, to have the holding costs taken care of. Why I just focus in on what I'm best at, and that's just fix the property, fix what's wrong. Then at the end, we'll split the profits. So this is something that as time goes on, I would recommend everybody try it in the beginning. Recently, I bought a medical building. In that medical building, the purchase price was around $800,000, but it was going to take $1.1 million total to buy the building and rehab it. So what we did is the investors that came in kept 50% of the profits, and I kept 50% of the profits. Let me explain. This was a non-performing asset. It was a medical building, no rents coming in. I had to come in and basically be the general contractor and the designer and lease the property up, along with some other real estate leasing professionals, right? So my responsibility was to totally turn this property. In doing so, we took it from $0 in income to nearly $17,000 in income. And what we did after that is we would refinance the property and make everybody whole, that was the investor, and take the profits and profit share on those 50-50. Again, so let's say we have a $1.1 million property, it's worth about $2 million, right? So whether we're selling it and we would divide that equity, or on a monthly basis on a cash flow, let's just say it's cash flowing at $5,000 a month, we would each take 50% or $2,500 each. This is a way for you to structure maybe some of your deals. It's through syndication, and really it's a negotiation. Some people that are lending don't want to give that much equity, but also keep in mind it is a negotiation. So the more confident that you are in fixing and flipping that property or repositioning it, the more equity you'll probably get. Anyways, also time helps with this. The more flips you do, the more opportunities like this will come your way. So keep grinding, get through it. If you like this information, I have a free gift for you, and that is the 3 best ways to invest in real estate without using your own money. Click on the link in the description and you'll be taken right to it.